Can you tell me how you ended up living with them in that house?
It was a rooming house. I was rooming there.
Danny, I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now he's in Apple TV Plus's limited series. I'm talking with Tom Holland, but first of all, happy birthday.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so there are so many things I want to say about this limited series, but as you know, we can't give anything away. Everything happens across the 10 episodes, and we need to not spoil the show. So what can you say about The Crowded Room?
I can say that The Crowded Room is, an incredibly unique piece of work that I think is going to really take audiences by surprise. It is a mystery at heart. It's a psychological thriller which navigates this incredibly complicated criminal case, where my character, Danny Sullivan, is at the center of it. I'm super excited about it. I'm incredibly proud of it. I can't wait for people to see it. And tonight's the night. We're at premiere tonight, so I'm very excited and happy to be here.
It's so exciting. I can't wait for people to see it. Every episode gets better and it's more thrilling. I feel bad that people are going to have to watch it episode by episode because I binged it so fast.
Right.
But you share a lot of your scenes with Amanda Seyfried. What was it like working with her?
Amazing. I loved working with Amanda. She was such a pleasure. She's a great actress and she's a good friend. It's pretty daunting staring down the barrel of well over 100 pages of dialogue in one room with one actress. And I'm so glad that we had Amanda because she did such a great job. She was a pleasure to work with, and she made those scenes really fun when they could have been really tough.
And the show creator and writer Akiva Goldsman said you were the one and only Danny Sullivan. What's it like to hear that, also being an executive producer on the show?
That really makes me happy. I really appreciate Akiva saying that. I love the man. He's a great guy. He's a fantastic talent. He writes a good script. And I just really loved working with him. We had a lot of fun. I think we achieved something really great together. And I'm delighted that he gave me the opportunity.
The show truly left me speechless. What a great way to celebrate your birthday tonight with the premiere. Have so much fun, and we'll be watching The Crowded Room this summer on Apple TV Plus.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So it's hard to believe it's almost 20 years since Mean Girls came out, and Amanda Seyfried made her debut film role, and now she's in Apple TV Plus's limited series, The Crowded Room. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks for having me.
So
20 years.
I know. I can't believe it. It's one of my favorite.
Nice reminder.
Yes, not a problem. So we can't give away too many spoilers because there's so many different things that happen throughout the series in almost every episode. But what can you say about The Crowded Room?
Crowded Room is a thriller based around a crime that happens. We don't know much about it, and we don't know who was involved, but we know that there's Danny Sullivan, who's played by Tom Holland, and he's in trouble. And I play this woman who's investigating and trying to help him and help law enforcement come to the truth of what's actually going on. And it's a lot more complicated than anyone had signed up for. And luckily my character is incredibly compassionate and incredibly patient, and is basically the entry point for the audience to get to know this kid who actually really does need help. Whether or not we believe him episode to episode, it doesn't really matter, because at least she does. At least she's in his corner no matter what. And like, everybody needs one of those. But it's definitely it's twisty. And you got to pay attention.
Yes, definitely pay attention each episode. What was it like working with Tom?
It was good. We had some ample rehearsal space, and he was really enthusiastic the whole time about it. Like, he's really excited. He was really excited to play this role.
How are they treating you?
And that's infectious. And I really think that we left everything out on the field, especially when we're working so closely together and developing this intense relationship that's warm and loving at times, but also really fraught with the threat of truth. And what happens in that room unfolds in a really unpredictable way, and also tests our our
It was a
own
rooming house. I was rooming
feelings
there.
about ourselves and how struggle has impacted us and where we fit in on this scale. And it's all very important.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Your character does the best job of just showing empathy, making us see who people are if we don't see them in the full light, and we get deep down and understand who people are. So thank you for that. Sasha Lane burst onto the scene in 2016 with American Honey. She's been in Loki, Conversations with Friends, and now she's in Apple TV's limited series, The Crowded Room. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So there's so many things I want to say, but we can't give away any of the spoilers that are in this amazing show. So what can you tell audiences about The Crowded Room?
I think off the bat, you can just say it's definitely a psychological thriller. There's definitely a lot of twists and turns. It's one big puzzle piece. And I think it's also just an exciting piece of work. And I'm very happy for people to see it.
And a lot of your scenes are with Tom Holland. What was it like working with him?
It was solid. I think to have a partner that you feel comfortable with in terms of how you both work, and that you can find a really nice groove with, so it doesn't even feel like you have to put too much effort on a day-to-day basis into your scenes and stuff. It's really good. It's a really refreshing thing.
So what's the basic premise behind the show without all the spoilers that everyone's gonna just love and just be so amazed by?
I think they're gonna love that they are gonna think they have an idea of what's happening, and then find out that they don't really have an idea of what's happening, and then find out of like, wait, where is this all going? And yeah, I think it's just all exciting. Yeah.
So the second episode, I've just got to say, your performance is so breathtaking. How do you take yourself to go to those lengths as an actress?
You just have to, for me, I think just like just ignore fear and kind of break down my walls and try to push past what everything in me is screaming inside of, like, no, don't show that emotion. But you want to, and you have to, especially when you feel so passionate about something. It feels really good to acknowledge that there is a purpose for it, and that you can maybe even have your own sense of like healing and like accomplishment from that.
And you explained just how passionate you are about this. It's something that people are going to feel so connected to and gather so much empathy for people that aren't like them, or other people that they may not understand. Is that what drew you to this project?
Definitely. And I think that just the true sense of like, how much can you really think that you understand someone if you haven't really been in their shoes? But also at the flip side, even if you've maybe experienced similar things or gone through similar things, or you're having a rough time, that every person handles things differently. They respond to different things, and not everyone has the same tools as you may have to help deal with those things. And so that's just really important to acknowledge in interacting with anyone, or even just watching someone and seeing what they're doing. I think it's just giving a lot more empathy and compassion to individuals as a whole. Like, yeah.
You said it so perfectly. The show will stick with people regardless of how great the show is and the performances. It's something that will stick with your mind going forward. Thank you so much, Sasha.
Thank you.
From Christine Daae to Fiona Gallagher, now she's playing Candy Sullivan in Apple TV's limited series, The Crowded Room. Emmy, Rossum, thanks for joining me.
Hi.
So The Crowded Room has so many great moments, but we can't give them all away because there are so many spoilers that are going to be revealed over the episodes. What can you tell us about the show to start?
The Crowded Room is a thriller that unfolds as a young man played by Tom Holland is arrested for a shooting in New York City in 1979. And the story unfolds through a series of interviews with Amanda Seyfried's character, who is tasked with uncovering his mysterious past and what may have led to this crime. And my character, you watch as she's a young 25-year-old mom, a single mom working 2 jobs, a caretaker in every aspect of her life, with this incredible kid, this playful, really infinite love for her child. And through a series of mistakes and decisions, that bond is shattered, and you watch as family secrets that run really deep that will be revealed over the course of the story impact their lives and ultimately lead to this crime.
And you mentioned Tom Holland, you play his mom. What was it like working with him in this series?
Terrific. I loved working with Tom and also working with the young actor that plays young Danny, Zachary Gollinger. Getting to memorize that happiness and that joy that they share as young mother and son. So that really informs what Tom and I are grieving, that loss of that closeness and that bond that's really been shattered. I think that was really helpful for me.
And you are so great at wearing your emotions and just displaying it on the screen. We saw it as Fiona Gallagher. We see it here. What does it take for you to get to those links and make that scene on screen?
I think anytime something on a page or a character really scares me and I don't know if I can do it, it's when I generally say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I think for me, the opportunity to play a deeply flawed character whose mistakes are really Shakespearean level, really was profoundly moving for me. I think also the things that it brought up for me as a young mom, the fears of the mistakes that I could make, the blind spots I could have, the ways in which my secrets could impact my children. I think those are very profound things to wrestle with. And ultimately, I think the reveals in the show are really thrilling and really satisfying.
They really are. The show gets better and better every episode. Thank you so much, Emmy. We'll be sure to watch The Crowded Room this summer on Apple TV+.